All right, hello everyone. Hi. As Josh said, my name is Ashley Butler, and I'm so thankful for this opportunity to share my testimony with you guys this morning. All right, so for as long as I can remember, I've always made it my goal to search for love from others and through things. Even though I grew up going to church here at Broward Church and had a good foundation in knowing there was a God, I never truly understood how much he loved me. Growing up in two different households, I struggled with feeling like I was missing out on the love that others felt from having their family together, and I even adopted myself into families just to fulfill the things I thought I was missing from a single-family household. At my core, I longed to feel important and number one to someone, and by the time I went to college, I set out to find what would make me feel just that. Literally, as soon as I gained some sort of independence, I started drinking excessively to the point of blacking out and partying to numb the feeling of loneliness, thinking I could fill the void of feeling unloved in my heart. My misguided priorities and misunderstanding of what would make me feel complete or loved eventually led to losing my scholarship and being placed on academic probation by the end of my first semester, and then a deep dive into major depression by the end of my second. But instead of turning to God, my solution was to find a boyfriend that would make me feel love so I wouldn't feel this way. I know it sounds like a good plan, right? I became so desperate, I stayed in a relationship that didn't benefit me in any way except for little pockets of feeling love, but mostly stress, unhappiness, and eventually that led to me also becoming an excessive smoker just to numb any other feelings that would surface. I just didn't want to deal with the feelings anymore. By the age of 23, relationships, marijuana, and also buying unnecessary materialistic things became my solutions for feeling loved and happy. I jumped from relationship to relationship, overextending my love in hopes to receive it back in even the tiniest of ways. I smoked to avoid dealing with unnecessary feelings, and I became an excessive shopper as a way to feel better when I was sad. Yet, I never felt complete, never felt happy, and never felt fully loved. I lacked resolve and no longer had confidence in God to help me. I accepted the wrong kinds of love, the ones that make you feel insecure, insufficient, and break you to the point of low self-esteem and dependency. Flash forward to 2020 at 27, I started dating during the pandemic, and it was a very difficult relationship to navigate through. I remember in an argument one day saying, if we don't work out, I'm going back to Jesus. Finally realizing, man, it's terrible out here in the world. My boyfriend at the time, in an attempt not to lose me, took that statement and ran with it all the way to my Christian dad. You guys know Mark. And long story short, next thing you know, we were both being taught how to become Christians in December 2020. So one day, as the sisters were showing me scriptures on God's love, it all clicked. Wow, the love I've been searching for has been right here all along. And I remember just boohoo crying on Zoom in my bed with those sisters, but eventually I stopped meeting with them because I wasn't ready to give up my abusive relationship. However, that realization stayed in my mind for months. After about 6 months, we got engaged in July 2021. You know, a young girl's dream, but in the worst way. And we hit the ground running. We set the date for February 19, 2022, started planning, and as it got more serious, I kept having a recurring thought. Is this the type of love you want to be with for the rest of your life? And it scared me terribly. So I mustered the courage and ended it about 2 months later. It didn't matter how much I avoided God, God was always reaching out to me. I just needed to listen and accept his love. About 2 months after that, I began letting go of things that contributed to my false sense of feeling love, like smoking, partying, drinking, and started studying the Bible again almost a whole year later. I remember praying again for the first time and fully believing God would help me because he loved me too. And thankfully, prayers were answered. It was the first time I understood the word and again, the magnitude of God's love for me. I was a little impatient with my studies and just wanted to jump in the water like I jumped into all my other relationships. But I'm so thankful for the time those amazing sisters spent with me to ensure I knew the commitment I was making. Finally, the time came, and I was baptized February 19, 2022. Thank you. The same day I set to get married, but not married to the world, married into the kingdom. And it has filled me in ways I could have never imagined, with peace, community, and with the love I never would have found in the world. I just want to end on this prayer for anyone who may have a similar story to mine, found in Ephesians 3:16-19. I pray that out of his glorious riches he may strengthen you with power through his Spirit in your inner being, so that Christ may dwell in your hearts through faith. And I pray that you, being rooted and established in love, may have power together with all the Lord's holy people to grasp how wide and how long and how high and deep is the love of Christ. And to know this love that surpasses knowledge, that you may be filled to the measures of all the fullness of God. Thank you.